शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादे सतारिणी. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधू दीनबंधू जगतपते, गोपेशे गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु एव च, पतितनां पावनभ्यो वैष्णव्यो नमो नमः. जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ, जय गिरिवरधारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ, जय गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन. यमुना तीरे वनचारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन. यमुना तीरे वनचारी, जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी. I'll be doing Sri Ramachandra Kripalu. Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. Sri Ramachandra Kripalu bhajamana, harana bhayadarunam. नवकञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुखकर कञ्जपदकञ्जारुणम्. श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भजमन, अरण्यभव भयदारुणम्. Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. Kandarpa anganita amita chavi navanilar nairata sundaram. पटपीतमानहु तडितरुचि शुचि, नौमि जनकसुतावरम्. श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम. भज दीनबन्धु दिनेश दानव, दैत्यवंश निकन्दनम्. रघुनन्द आनन्द कन्द कौशल चषन्द दशरथ नन्दनम्. Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram, Sri Ram. शिरमुकुट कुंडल किलक चारु उदार अंग विभूषणम् आजानु भुज शर चापधर संग्रामजित खर दूषणम् श्रीराम 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 वदति तुलसीदास शङ्कर शेषं रघुनन्दनं मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादिखलदल गञ्जनम् श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् नव कंज लोक कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम् श्रीराम 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 Shri Ram, Shri Ram. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful seva.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for the
Dandavat pranam. Thank you.
nice bhajan. Now we'll start with the recap.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice bhajan.
Thank you, Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Nice Kirtan, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Nice recap, Mataji.
Everyone's blessings I could do.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So, last time, yesterday, we have seen, we are going through advanced Srimad Bhagavatam course. And in that, we are going through 11th canto and it was 18th chapter. And so today, yesterday we saw lesson 168A part, which includes 48 verses of Varnashram Dharma. And yes, this very chapter, as we saw, it was spoken by Lord Krishna and to Uddhavji, and is the part of Uddhav Gita section, and is a continuation of chapter 17. And it focuses on the practical application of renunciation stages, which covers Vanaprastha Sannyas Ashram, and what is Paramhamsa stage, and how Guru Seva and what's our universal Dharma. It was discussed about by His Grace Bhagavad Seva Prabhuji. And we have also seen BBT text and purports as per Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comment. And the key theme for this lesson, it is the how gradual detachment it will lead to pure devotional service, and which is the ultimate perfection of life. So how should be the retired life, how one should enter in one prasthashram, how should be lifestyle and practices, it was discussed. So can anyone highlight the few points about Vanaprastha Dharma, as they were thoroughly discussed by and told by His Grace Bhagavad Prabhuji, and it was discussed at quite length, the key points.
This stage gives a individual's detachment from the material world, and in this phase, individuals have to leave the family comfort from the house and families to immerse themselves in a very simple life and simple way of living for the spiritual dedication. And they have to diet also. They have very simple whatever they get in nature, and continuous physical austerities is the main path. And it teaches that genuine spiritual growth demands shedding of material attachments, and we have to live all the comfort of the material and come into a big renounce. We have to renounce completely. That is the main individual goal of Vanaprastha ashram.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Mataji, in other words, simple living, high thinking.
Yes, simplicity, as told by Srila Prabhupada also so many times, as inculcated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So simplicity, na? So that is the key away.
One more thing, Mataji, just
Yeah.
giving up the comforts life. Okay, whatever is getting it, Grihastha life, giving
Yeah.
up voluntarily. Okay,
Mm.
not like forcefully.
Yeah, yeah.
And without any desires also, Mataji.
Yes, yes. And so that leads to our spiritual growth, isn't it? So it is a gateway for the higher spiritual realms, such as the Pulok also. So as we have discussed at quite length about what the penances are, so much thorough discussion it was went through. What can be told about sannyasi here as per the slide in the sannyas ashram?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes,
It
Mata.
is a renunciating stage. It adjusts the individual who is in sannyasa state to discard all the worldly desire and always aspire for the godly connection to Lord Krishna, and they are fully committed to self mastery and mind control. They should have thorough meditation and unwavering devotion to Supreme Lord. They should rely upon Vedic philosophy and they should forgo the material desires.
Yes, yes. So nice, Mataji.
Mataji, completely detachment from the worldly desires, even for the heavenly pleasures also. And the individual is only on this path of meditating, and he has self-control, and his attention is towards spiritual growth only. And this is only this spiritual path, that is the only way to get liberation and spiritual advancement.
Yeah, so here we can see how one should strive to get away from material comforts, that is sannyasi life, and
Also giving up this particular, I want liberation, even that kind of longing desire, also giving up is also very important, Mataji.
that is also the attachment, na? Desire.
Yes, that is also attachment, correct.
Yeah.
That is what Prabhuji has explained.
Yes, so nice.
I have to one point, you said retire. That's not an appropriate word here, right? So it is not a concept of pension aa gaya, everything is done. That's not a retire. So transition from one phase of life to another. We never say that when brahmachari moves to grasta, he retires. He doesn't. He moves from one phase to another. Here also, rather more active role here, right? So, vanaprastha is not that it's a laziness. It's a moving from one phase of life to grasthas to vanaprastha. So retire somehow it doesn't suit very well with that. Transition is the best word. Transition, right?
Yeah. Here, just now Prabhuji said it is not taking the pension and all here we are talking about. So it is, you can leave home after we have fulfilled the duties. We can leave a wife with sons, or can take along also if are the devotees. So the few lifestyle and practices, they are also mentioned in detail. So your purpose is detachment from body and comfort. So it is not imitation as per our principles in ISKCON, that it just reduce the material dependence. So that will be the detachment. Then about austerities and
Right.
practices. Yes, yes. Something you wanted to say, Radha Vinod Prabhuji?
No, I just mentioned that retirement is not the right word. It's not only the pension, but
Yeah.
it's a transition from one. As I mentioned, from brahmacharya ashram to the grahastham, same zeal is there. So here, moving to the vanaprastha ashram, just to continue next phase of life. So the kind of word retire is something doesn't say that he's not retiring from what family responsibility. In a brahmachari, you retire from one type of responsibility. Grahastha, another type of responsibility. Vanaprastha, third type of responsibility, right? So
Yes.
there's the same zeal, there's the same enthusiasm. Rather, it's a more important part as you progress towards the end of life. It's a real fulfillment comes there also, right? Because
Yes.
many times ISKCON people misuse it, and I feel that it's not the right word. Somebody can add at the end also.
So that is a good segue. So my opinion is it is correlating with the modern situation. So it is retirement, but it is not like leaving everything and doing nothing and just like watching TV all day. That is not it. It is retiring from the material engagement with full focus now or more focus than before on the spiritual activity. I think that is essential.
So
I'll,
because
I'll, I'll give another perspective of this retirement. Normally, people believe in India, people retire at 60 years of age. But in the armed forces, that is defense forces, army, navy, and air force, even people retire at the age of 35 to 40 years. Rather, the maximum majority of the people they retire between at the ages of 35 to 40. Maximum, I am saying about 70% of the 75% of the people they retire at that age. That's why if it is in our mind that this retirement is after you have finished all the worldly responsibilities. No, if somebody is retiring at 35, he has to carry on till his family, his children, they grow up and till that time. That's why, yes, the correct terminology is not retirement, as Radha Vinod Prabhuji has said. This should be understood.
yes. So thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, we can say upliftment of ourselves.
Yes, yes.
Transition, right? The right word from one set of response to another set. Or rather, it's a more vigorous, right? One has
Yes, sir.
to,
Very
mundane
true.
life is somehow, if you like to get up morning or not, you have to do that. But here it's another, right? Vigor. You have to get up and chant and do all those things, right? So it's a more active life as you move. Even the body becomes little bit of tired, but still the mind doesn't get retired. Mind is always fresh as a young boy in old age also.
We should be hankering for always. We
Correct.
should be hanker always. Yes,
Sure.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move.
Yeah, here it's been mentioned. Okay, so for self-control, the body and mind needs to be controlled, and for that we do see that there are several austerities and tapasya which are mentioned. So what sort of austerities or tapasyas they are prescribed?
They
Like,
should live
Hare Krishna
minimal
Mataji,
lifestyle
fasting,
and
minimum lifestyle,
yes,
meditating on the supreme. These are the quality, and these are the try to purify both body and the mind.
yes,
Important here is the fasting. I take a prasad only one time. I am also 68 cross 69, right? I take a prasad only one time, not the two time. So with the body also you change, and it makes sense also adapting minimal lifestyle. Yes, it becomes because you don't have to go for work, you don't have to do. Naturally, it reduces that, right? And then you have enough time for meditation. Everything is planned. See how Lord mercy, how the body changes, right? The body composition, mind thinking. One who is at that age can understand what it means. It's very difficult to understand the early age.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. So yesterday also I was hearing about the purpose economy, and here the purpose is detachment from body and comfort. So abundance, no, we have to go from, we have to go away from abundance. Mm. One can live in forest and can depend on nature, can dress simply, no more bodily grooming and austerities, like one can sleep on the floor, and several tapasya can be done, it can be achieved, and reduce material dependence. Yes, so as to follow on this path, as Prabhuji explained yesterday, okay, so there is Brahmacharya ashram, one stays in under the shelter of Guru Maharaj, and is the role of spiritual master, because for the cultivation of this, so guidance is required, and that foundational guidance, it has been displayed by with spiritual master, can, as we know the significance, and one can realize what is the universal duty and dharma. So can anyone explain about this? What is dharma here?
Yeah, three things are mentioned. This is continuously coming: non-violence, self-control, devotion to the supreme. So non-violence, it doesn't mean only the killing is only one aspect, right? So we talk of four austerities, to become a human being. So one of them is also non-violence. Self-control is required as we grow, we mature more, and devotion to the supreme, because that is the purpose why we are transitioning from one life to another life. The dharma is that's what talks about.
Yes. So Varnashram Dharma, it is the framework for our spiritual journey,
Yeah.
and it will embrace our inherent duties, and one can seek a deeper connection with divine. So it was the essence. So here about Paramhamsa. So Prabhuji explained so nicely what is mean by Paramhamsa, what is Paramhamsa stage. Hansa, as he said, that Hamsa is able to distinguish between from milk the water can separate it. Okay, so Paramhamsa stage is the topmost stage on this ladder, and it is beyond rules and prohibitions, because Prabhuji also said the rules and regulations are for those who are the learners or in the beginning stage. As he said, the one who is a swimmer will need to have the support in the beginning. Okay, but once one is in tune with it, so likewise, here one can see the person who is in Paramahamsa stage is fully absorbed in Krishna and sees Krishna in all beings and all beings in Krishna. No? So here we can see that is above all dualities, that is pleasure, pain, success, failure, and dualities which do arise from Maya. And the true essence of reality lies in the eternal relationship with the Supreme Being, and one should embrace this particular truth, that material attachment, they are so temporary, and these desires are temporary and are responsible for bondage. So here the ultimate goal is mentioned. Can anyone say it in a nutshell? The ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal is
The ultimate
Mataji
goal is
to go on, Mataji.
Yes.
The ultimate
Go on.
goal is aspiration, realization of Shastri, a state where one becomes equal in opulence with the Supreme Lord. That the physical body demise, they achieve union with the divine.
Yes. So thank you, Dipti Mataji. So one is equal in happiness and distress at mental level, if we see. No pride, no insult, accept anything easily. And that true spirituality is beyond duality. And Paramahansa lives in the world but is not of this world. So likewise, one can see how one can serve in ISKCON also. So the importance of Guru Maharaj is required. And here, as Prabhuji explained, as per Varnashram Dharma, the service and division, the service, recognition of the divine in all beings, and cultivation of bhakti, that is in essence. So, on the humanity ground, one should serve effectively to the Lord, get connected, and can progress spiritually, following the ethical conduct and compassion. Okay, so humility and surrender. So that's very important for achieving divine love and grace. So next is okay. So what's the philosophical significance of this point? That is liberation through devotion.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Through devotion,
Ramadaji.
one can get liberation from the cycles of birth and death, and this is the importance, the only and only the pure devotion. Bhakti is all about these desires, detachment from worldly desires, and totally in bhakti path.
Yeah,
That
here,
is
Engaging oneself into service with align with the divine will, and by dedicating the actions to the supreme, and all living beings, we treat all living beings with love and respect, in that is upliftment of thus society. And the principle teaches that the devotion transcends to a personal pursuit.
yeah, this word, particular philosophical significance, previously we would, came many times, unity, right? Harmonization with the society. The same concept as you grow from self to, you transition to others also, because Lord is present in everyone's heart. We see how harmonious Lord is everywhere in all the forms with his energies. So one sees that I'm something different. No, I am part of the whole cosmos, the whole creation of the Lord, and that held compassion. I think word is coming compassion. Then otherwise that won't come, right? So how to
love,
help us together? Love, compassion,
love and
uh,
respect increases.
respect
Uh,
for others, because we can spiritually grow together, not in isolation, right? So I see that Charu Prabhuji tried to bring that point, and this particular thing brings out very openly. The devotional service is together, right? As a society, we to progress together, not in isolation.
Through
So,
devotion, the individual understands that this Paramatma is Antaryami, is living in all living entities. So we are no different from others. Then he becomes more compassionate, more loving, and more respectful, and he gets.
Mataji, spirituality and compassion should be integrated. They should lead selfless devotion, and they should be, the life should be filled with purpose and spiritual richness. And aim should be helping everyone.
yes. Thank you, Dipti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So here a journey towards spiritual liberation. So that is the key themes here, the gradual transition to renunciation. So as we have seen yesterday, as Prabhuji told, that simplicity and self-sufficiency, minimalism, okay, stripping away material comforts, distractions, etc., spiritual quest, and the principles of austerity. So they are all going to purify our heart and mind on the spiritual path. Then severe penances and spiritual trails and detachment from material pursuits. So here, so while performing these duties, one should be free from these attachments and the results of their action and participate in rituals and sacrifices while cultivating an attitude of detachment from the outcomes. And so here, as it was told yesterday, the principle resonates with the broader teachings of Karma Yoga, where every action is performed as an offering to the divine and detached from personal desires. So selfless service, as now just Dipti Mataji said, and the understanding that true fulfillment is found in devotion and not in the pursuit of material achievements. Okay, so here the role of charity and humility also that has been told, and it will foster unity and respect for all. So one, if one follows charity and humility, then cleansing and purification. So, and just like we do bathe, similarly, our body gets cleansed. Similarly, our mind is also cleansed on this particular path. So, spiritual cleanliness can be created on this authentic devotional service path, and one can transform our consciousness. Okay, so then the focus on devotional service, as it underscores the importance of love and devotion in reaching spiritual enlightenment, and inclusivity fosters a sense of worthiness and support among practitioners. It's about understanding the nature of reality. Yes, in reality, that this material world is a suffering, and one can self-realize accordingly and can uh, get on this particular path with this approach that one should go to bona fide spiritual master so as to seek their guidance. So here the influence of the demigods and distractions. Here so many people, they try to approach the demigods for worldly temptations, but one should remain focused on the spiritual aspiration. And how should be focused? That realization of oneness with the divine for one prasta and sannyasi. The ultimate realization lies in understanding their inseparability from the Supreme Lord. Okay. And as we know, our spiritual master is no other than Lord Krishna, and one should serve with faith and full surrender to spiritual master also. So about the nature of Paramahansa, as it serves as a powerful reminder that true spiritual advancement often defies conventional wisdom and that outward appearances can be deeply misleading. Detachment from ritualism and atheism, it has been told. So the bhakti, the call here is called to dismiss atheism and pure intellectual reasoning in favor of genuine faith and devotion resonates deeply with the essence of bhakti. And yes, tolerance and non-violence. Here, the emphasis on non-violence and compassion uh, speaks powerfully to the necessity of aligning one's life with Dharma and maintaining a spirit of understanding in all interactions. And one can see unity of all living beings. So, this perspective cultivates a sense of universal brotherhood, affirming that animosity toward any living being is utterly indefensible, and recognizing the divine essence within everyone inspires compassion and empathy, reinforcing the understanding that all beings are intricately linked through the Supreme Lord. And Yes, equanimity in material conditions, the role of the guru and devotional service. Here, so much it can be discussed again on this, but one can understand that Guru Seva is the foundation of bhakti, and our service is the realization. And there are as four ashram: brahmachari, grihastha, vanprastha, and sannyasa, and the main duties they are prescribed. And duties are serve Guru Maharaj, protect and sacrifice. If one is in grihastha dharma, in vanprastha, one can follow austerities, and in sannyas dharma, one can undergo self-control and non-violence. And yes, um, the true purpose of life and worship, the cleanliness, austerity, compassion, friendship to all beings, and worship for Krishna, as well as worship of Krishna, and perform our duties offered to Krishna and get purified. That is the basic principle. And even Varnashram duties become perfect when done in alignment with the devotion to Krishna. And Kamakanda gives us the limited results, but Bhakti it gives you liberation plus the love of God. So these are the few points. And the false sannyas, it was told. So going on the path of false sannyas, better is go through Grihasthashram, so as it is been told. So likewise, we have seen this ultimate reality is Krishna. Okay, so thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice.
Thank you, Mataji,
Hare
for the
Krishna,
wonderful
thank you.
recap. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, and thank you so much, Radhamani Prabhu sir, also, and everyone for participating in recap. And also thank you for Suresh Bhai and Harsha Mataji, right? So wonderful Kirtan today. So we'll continue, but before that, we'll do Mangla chant. So, yes. Prabhuji, am I audible? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. And then I'm sharing my screen. Om Vishnu Daya Vishnu Daya. So first with the Srimad Bhagavatam Krishna Lila Stava. Sarvashastra Piyusha Sarva Vedic Sapala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Loke Drakpada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Tavidvanto Ditya Aditya Sri Krishna Parivartita. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O nectar churn from ocean of all Vedic scriptures. O most prominent transcendental fruit of all Vedas, O you who are enriched with jewels of all spiritual philosophical conclusion, O you who grant spiritual vision to all the people of the world, O life breath of Vaishnava devotees, O Lord, you are the sun which has arisen to dispel the darkness of the Kali Yuga. You are actually Lord Krishna who has returned among us. Paramananda Parthaya Prema Vaishakshirayati Sarvada Sarvasivaya Sri Krishnaya Namastume. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. By reading you one attains transcendental bliss, for your syllables rain pure love of God upon the reader. You are always to be served by everyone, for you are an incarnation of Lord Krishna. Madeka Bandhu Matsangi Madguru Manmahadana Manishtarka Madhvagya Madamanda Namastame. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O my only friend, O my companion, O my teacher, O my great wealth, O my deliverer, O my good fortune, O my bliss, I offer respectful obeisances unto you. Sadhu sadhu tadain atinitto chatakara ana munchakada chanma premna hatakantayushpara. O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifest upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyadi Pashrata Deshatamane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansh Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Savalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, we are all. Thank you so much for joining me to today's session. We so, so we offer our humble obeisances to all the acharyas, to all the Vaishnavas, to the Lord, and also to His Grace Charuchandra Prabhu, all the Vaishnavas here, my obeisances. We pray severely to Lord that His Grace Charu Prabhu be well soon and be with us, hale and healthy, and like um, walking us through these different Shastra for us, reading himself, assimilating himself, and sharing the jewels of the spiritual conclusion with us. Right. So this is also one of his wonderful, summarization of the Canto 11, chapter 18. So yesterday we did the BBT purports. We continue with that. There will be 7 themes, and then we continue with the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur purport. Now there will be a lot of things um, which are seemingly repetitive. So let's see. But I think it is also important, necessary to some extent, because through repetition, at some point, at least me for myself, I will be able to internalize and apply. And also very encouraging to see how, while we going through this Varnashrama phases, where this is the phase of Varnaprastha, but as I see, like His Grace Charu Prabhu, Sarat Prabhu, yourself, and Radha Vinod Prabhu, you also mentioned how you eat only one time a day, how you, and like Sarat Prabhu also are discussing, he wakes up 3 a.m., does the DT service, chanting, and then so this is the live example and application of Varnashrama Dharma in the context of divine Varnashram and as given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are very fortunate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sent us this so wonderful person as example they set up, and many of you as well. I don't know, but maybe I'm sure like you Nitya Saki Mataji, how you training the kids, and Raksha Mataji, all the verses Prasad Prabhu, you're very young. I think you and me maybe probably same age, but maybe you're more younger, I think. So for us, it is a good inspiration that, okay, this is what Bhagavad Gita says. This is how Srila Prabhupada translate. And here are the living examples who follow that, right? So just hold on to them and everything else will come. Okay. So let us start today's session again. So these are again text and purpose of the path of devotional service, path of devotion through this Varnashram Dharma. And the 9 themes we cover, and Mataji nicely summarized for us. Sorry, all the themes that were covered, the conclusion of these 9 themes will be made in 7 points. So as I said, there will be a lot of repetition. This will be sort of a recap again, and then we will see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Kripa. Okay. So now, yeah. So now here, okay. So now here, yeah, we see here. Now these verses 29 to 48, they tell the trait of self-realized soul, Paramahansa. And Mataji gave a very nice word. He is part of the world, but not of the world, right? Something like that you said, Mataji, like in the world, but not of the world. So he's already transcendental, fully away from this material. And I think Sharata, you gave nice example yesterday also that some of them are so exalted that even their bodies, they continue to chant Hare Krishna. And that's why the body of such a spiritualist sannyasi is never cremated. It is kept in a samadhi so that we can continue to get that inspiration and we can feel the presence over there also. So the essence of bhakti and is mentioned in this. Essence of bhakti means there is so much written across, like the Vanaprastha should do this, sannyasi should do this. There are so many scriptures, but what is the essence? So the essence of devotion and the trait of, or the symptoms of Paramahansa within the context of Krishna conscious is what is discussed here. So let's go through these themes one by one. The first theme is integration of spiritual and ethical living, right? So here what is being mentioned is a sannyasi or vanaprastha or anyone who is following the spiritual principles, right? It is very important to understand that the ethical living is a subset of it. Like it will automatically come. Like as Srila Prabhupada often give example, like if you have $1 billion, you automatically have $1 lakh, right? So that is there. So here it means that if someone is in the line of devotion, especially in the Vaishnava, the sadachar, the etiquettes are very important. Uh, Also, Srila Prabhupada gives us an assurance that if we follow this path properly, then these will automatically develop. We don't have to do a separate endeavor to be very truthful, to follow, like to be a vegetarian and all, because we already following that, we automatically get that higher test. And many of us, I think we would have seen that even if in an extreme situation, suppose we want to lie somewhere, immediately the Lord within, Paramatma or someone, will give us a indication that don't do that, don't do that. And then if we follow that instinct, then we will be very. So the point here is that spirituality transcends, that the true spirituality transcends the mere personal enlightenment, encompassing ethical conduct, humility, and the compassion factor. What that means is, as I said, the spiritual living automatically has that the moral science conduct, right? That be truthful, be honest, no cheating, and all that, right? And the Paramahansa, he exemplifies. That means he's an ideal in all that respect. Like when you look at him, it's totally like, just by looking at him, you will feel like, okay, in the presence of such a person, you will never feel like you can lie. Like we see Narad Muni when he goes and he meets a shikari or someone, or even Kansa, right? When he goes to Kansa, even Kansa doesn't lie, or he also thinks of him as a truthful personality. So that is the power of that Paramahansa. Like they follow to the such a level, and they are so deep in Krishna conscious that they are walking tirtha, like Vidura Mahatma, like how Yudhishthira say Maharaj says that they are the walking tirtha, and they are embodiment of all these ethical things, right? So, so that means that in this world, it says that we can coexist with detachment from the material life while following the spiritual principle. So detachment again come here. So as I said, there are three critical words I see in this whole chapter. One is tolerance, other is discipline, and third is detachment. So we need to have a discipline to follow. Through discipline, we'll get tolerance to tolerate all the different challenging situation. And through all of that, we automatically develop detachment. Why so automatically? Because we are putting tolerance and discipline to follow the spiritual routine, to follow and obey the instruction of the spiritual master. And that will automatically give jnana, vairagya will automatically come. So we don't have to do the separate endeavor. So in essence, here, a Vaishnav always remains steady in Sukha and Dukkha. In Bhagavad Gita, we have this wonderful word, Sama Sukha Dukkha Sarveshu, right? 2.40 method. Mataji can share with us that this non-permanent appearance of happiness distress, one has to tolerate, even like the summer, winter, and all. Sama Sukha Dukkha Sarveshu. So, example from Srimad Bhagavatam is like Ambrish Maharaj. So even though he was insulted by Durvasha Muni, he tolerated that, and then he did complete surrender to the Lord, and then we see how the Lord protected. So this is all a Leela play, a pastime for us to understand that when we take full shelter of the Lord, no matter what, He is always committed and He will protect us. Right. So that is it. So essence, one way, if like I'm trying to follow the footstep of Prashad Prabhu. The one way, one liner for this is that tolerance is gateway to steadiness and bhakti in bhakti. Right? So we have to be tolerate, try our best to tolerate all the situation, tolerate the urges that will maintain the discipline. And it's like, I think, parallel. Build the discipline to follow, and that will help us tolerate also. And that is a very, that will give us this steadfastness, or what is that? Brahmabhuta Prasanna. So to reach, or at least inculcate that Brahmabhuta structures, right? Then the next thing is detachment from materialism. So detachment is a central tenet here. It is very nicely explained. We also went through that. Um, that rejection of the superficial ritual. Do not wait on validation from the society to do something. There is a proper scripture given. There is an interpretation correctly given by the acharya. We follow that, and then the key thing is that through this, the focus should shift towards the inner realization. The external bodily outfit, external following will automatically come. Um, we don't have to wait for that. We have to like apply that as well, and internal cleanness will come through. But we have to theoretically analyze and realize that the ultimate goal should be the internal cleanness. And we should be clear what is the ultimate goal of life. So that we have discussed. The ultimate goal is Krishna Prema. However, that is not uh, immediately given through a proper discipline. It is like it is not something we can go and buy from supermarket or something. It is graced and given to us through our the sincere effort and followership. Then through the devotees, through the Guru Maharaj, Krishna will reward us that prema in a gradual status. Right? Then the next thing is importance of guidance and community. So that is the necessity of a spiritual master. As Lord Krishna says, right, that tad vidhi pranipatena, pariprasthana. So we have to go first serve the spiritual master, Then when he's happy, ask the question, and through his response, then the Bhakti Lata Beej is placed in our heart. What is that Bhakti Lata Beej? The Bhakti Lata Beej is the affinity or positiveness to hearing this katha, being together, following this process, and that as it grows, when the Bhakti Lata Beej grows, then we mature in our devotion. With all of that, with the guidance and mentorship, which is very important, then we can overcome the ignorance, and that nurtures our devotion. So that is the point. So that is the very importance of guidance and community part, as we have discussed, like Radhavendra Prabhu nicely mentioned, there is continuous um, reiteration of doing this as a Sankirtan, as a community, because individually we cannot do. We can try to some extent, but we may fall down. So we definitely need the guidance. So also our ISKCON devotees nicely give us ABC, right? So A is association, B is book reading, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, C is chanting. So these are the ABC of the spiritual life as given by Srila Prabhupada. Then equanimity and tolerance. So what is that? Again, we talk about tolerance just now. So through tolerance, then we have to maintain equanimity, means amidst the life fluctuation, means be it happiness or be it difficulty, be it opulence or be it the poverty, one must endure the tolerance towards the situation and towards the other also, right? So with this, why we should do that? With this mindset, we stay peaceful and we have harmonious existence with other, and that is essential for spiritual growth and development. So, in this chapter, it is mentioned that when the Vanaprasthi goes and collects the food for whatever he collects through begging the alms, he then again comes back and he distributes to others. And also, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says that if there are people who are bothering you, that, okay, give me this, give me that, and all, one should give that and do the needful so that you maintain equilibrium and peacefulness and practice the devotional service. So our great example here is, like we discussed, like Jiva Goswami. He was so scholarly and he was so much devoted, and also he was so perfect in the conduct, and he was so intelligent that he could strike a deal and a contract with all the Mughal governors at that time, who were very difficult, they not trustworthy. But he could put a deal with them that none of them will attack these Goswami temples in Vrindavan. So he was so much intelligent there. So before that, prior to that, the Mughal, their and all that the side, their policy or their model was, when they run out of fund, they will go to Vrindavan, they will loot all the temples, and then they will go back and enjoy. And then when they are short of it, then again they will come back. Because here, this is Lord's grace is there, the devotees, they will feel disturbed, but then again they will come together in community and maintain that. So Jiva Goswami saw that, and he was so potent, and he was so administrative expert in administration that he wrote a contract with them. That was the first time that these kind of contracts came into existence. He wrote a will. So that is the extreme height of the heighted level of those intelligence, tolerance, equanimity. But for us, like at our level, the point here is whatever is needed so that we are peaceful and we can follow our spiritual sadhana actively and focus, that must be done. Okay. Then in this case from Mahabharata, as I said, Jiva Goswami is also example, but also Prahlad Maharaj is also a good example. How he saw everybody equally. His father was trying to kill him, but still he was very equally disposed over him. Like when Lord Narasimha comes, okay, what do you want? Oh, please save my father. But he had no hatred against anyone. Anyone trying to kill him, burn him, also he's. So there was this movie also, right? Narasimha Avatar. It was so thrilling to see that, and they made very nice visualization of how we can see Paramatma or Vishnu everywhere. So at least for some time that stays with us, that yes, we can see the Lord everywhere. So that comes to the next point, universal brotherhood and compassion. So because Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right, I am the thread in which all are connected. So um, this interconnectedness is again and again repeated because Paramatma is everywhere. Through Paramatma, we are all connected to each other. So when we criticize, when we have ill feeling for anyone, actually Paramatma within that person heart feel bad, and our heart also. That why? Because he is the creation of the Lord. So we have to acknowledge that divine presence. How we can do that? Through repeatedly hearing Bhagavad Gita again and again, Bhagavatam again and again. So then when we hear that chapter 10, chapter 11, then we understand, oh Lord Krishna is everywhere. Then when we look at sun, we offer obeisances. At this stage, we offer obeisances to the sun god. And also we remember that, yes, sun, oh, dear sun god, thank you for the light. And also we acknowledge that how Lord Krishna says that the sun and moon are my eyes. All right. So this interconnectedness is very important. And through this, when we realize, then we become non-violent, and that is very important for the spiritual practice. Right. So that is the point. Right? So again, so one liner over here, the compassion arises from seeing Krishna everywhere. So if we see Krishna everywhere, like it is very difficult because at least for me, the heart is very hard, right? Because lot of anartha, lot of selfishness. But if we become like the with right vision, we see Krishna everywhere and energy of Krishna, then automatically we'll be compassionate. And yeah, so that is the key point. Yeah? It's a universal brotherhood and compassion. And then here also we can say equanimity and tolerance is, yeah, as I said, tolerance is the gateway to steadiness. So let's continue. The next point, sixth theme here is authenticity in spiritual practice, right? So here, as we said that when we do spiritual practice, automatic with at least a genuine intent, like we may not be able to follow to the highest level given, but at least internally we have that intent is correct, then Krishna guides us, right? Dadami Buddhi Yoga. Then we mature. But if there is a situation that I don't think anyone of us does that here, but there may be a case outside we would have seen or heard that people take up to spiritual practice just for the material gain, the false sannyasi, the false spiritual, the charlatan. That's what they say. That is condemned. Even Krishna says that this kind of cheating he condemns very badly. It's not good. So it is very important that we are sincere, authentic. How what authenticity? At least my level, and at least our intent should be clear. That I don't want to cheat. I want to practice so that I can make, because I can follow the instruction of my guru, of the senior Vaishnava, and through that, when they are happy, Krishna becomes. So this will automatically give true renunciation. So it arises from genuine desire for self-realization and heartfelt service to the God. So that is a very, very important aspect. Heartfelt service to the God. Like as repeatedly it's mentioned that when we do our service regularly, it might become mechanical or there is a deviation. So to avoid that, we have to do some conscious effort that we're doing it heartfelt way. How we do that? We take guidance from the seniors who are doing correctly. We read and then we try our best to maintain our purity, right? So we have to avoid this kind of cheating propensity. We must have the heartfelt desire. So like the example here is Bharat Maharaj, like how he gradually left everything and then but he got little bit distracted. Again, that's a pastime for us, right? For teaching. But then he made a quick course correction when he was born and Zed Bharat, right? And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, right, one who performed the duty without attachment, right, to then he is a true sannyasi and true yogi. Otherwise, he also Krishna also warns us against the fall. So here one line is authenticity is important. Then the external renunciation, right? So externally, if we try just to renounce for show Raksha Mataji says, just making a show bazi, then that is a problem, right? We have to follow externally also. Like there is also a term, again, we have to be cautious that fake it until you can make it. But if the intent is that internally also I get purified, then it is correct. So try to follow externally also and gradually, but with the intent that internal is important, okay? Not with the intent of cheating anyone. So then, because Krishna also says, right, in Bhagavad Gita that among the cheaters, he is the topmost, the gambling. So how can we cheat the Lord? He is everywhere in everyone's heart. So it's not possible. There's no way we can cheat, right? So he's a Maha in that also. Then focus on worship and devotion. So this is the another theme here. The important part, as now Prashad Prabhu also mentioned, that it is very important that we do it joyfully, right? We try to do it joyfully, not as a regular chore. So all the activities and duties should lead to sincere worship of the Lord. Otherwise, Shrama Evaike. So key thing is the key tenet we have, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And then also whatever desire, whatever state we are, let us try to serve the Lord, right? So this devotion is not merely an obligation, but means it's not a mechanical thing, but it is transforming us so that we can achieve the service of the Lord. Lord service takes precedence over all. So who is our key teacher here? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He established this Nam Sankirtan. That is the essence, but the whole essence over here is focus on worship. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a pioneer. He established. Then we had Bhakti Vinod, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He wrote so many books. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He established the Gaudiya Math, and then how we know Srila Prabhupada in today's day, he established the ISKCON, right? So the one line the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, again I can think of Man Mana Bhava Man Bhakta. So that should be our focus. All time remembering Krishna. That is our goal. Maybe that is not the current situation. That is the goal. So Lord's loving service to Lord is the topmost precedence. Okay? And then, so one-liner statement here is bhakti is final purpose for all duties. Right? For all the duties we do, it should end up in bhakti. Means the loving service to Lord must take precedence over all other person. So if we the devotees like to quote this word, keep Krishna in the center, then everything will be full. So, and Srila Prabhupada used the word dovetail. So all activities should dovetail together. So summarizing this whole thing, the final conclusion here is our life should be fully dedicated to Krishna consciousness. And then through that, it will automatically be characterized by humility, detachment, jnana, vairagya will come, right? And then this will give us the spiritual fulfillment also, as in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, that there is this verse, right? Automatically, we get the higher taste and we get the nourishment also. So that cultivates a profound personal connection with the Lord, and we through that we also do that conduct of ethical living, and we follow the genuine spiritual practice. Right? So one does not have to different or separately endeavor to cultivate those moral or ethical quality. So the one way I put it is one who follows spiritual practice is automatically legally compliant. He or she will not do anything like tax chori, this gapla. Automatically, the Lord will make so arrangement that you are honest in all your dealings, clear. So that will be our reward. Okay. So then we continue now. So those were the 7 themes. Now let us see the purport of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Right? So they give us the practical aspect of Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. So this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur purport, they were nicely translated in English by His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj. Very, very nice and very, very guiding. I think it's a PDF is available very nicely. Sharat Prabhu shared with me, so I could go through that. And they give us this practical guidance, and they also give intellectual stimulation, right? And So like yesterday, how Radhanand Prabhu very nicely you intellectually you questioning that what is the difference between tolerance and penance, right? So this is like, that is this is the sharpness. This is what we have to develop, and that will help us scrutinizingly study what is the difference between this and this. What does it mean here? From a different vision, how you see. So we get both from this perfect. It stimulate us intellectually as well, so then our mind becomes more, our conscious goes more and more into this discussion. And it also gives us the required and essential guidance. So we can take to the. Now, lot of these themes here, they are repetition. Some of them are similar to what Bhaktivedanta purport say, because Srila Prabhupada and these devotees, they kindly summarize the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur purport for us. Um, However, they give a separate perspective as well. So we'll try to find those additional learning points as we go through this. But overall, the theme may be same. So detachment and simplicity, right? So that is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Again, we discussed this. How do we get that? We prioritize minimalism. So, like gradually, we leave away everything physically, get detached from that things, and also we detach emotionally also. And in that case, this framework was very wonderful, where the person aspiring to go to sannyas, first he will go to that kutichari, means there will be a separate kutia. He will stay in a different place as a sannyasi after sannyas. Like it will be a different cottage far away. But the householders, except for the wife and all, they cannot meet, but they can keep the arrangement somewhere. So gradually this, and then eventually it has to go to Parivat Chakra. That means the person now has to move around continuously. So these are these gradual stages and gradual milestones in each stage also, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, and that gives us this emotional detachment and minimalism um, uh, gradually, right? So, and but person has to make this effort to avoid the accumulation of resource. Why? What is the philosophical significance of this theme? So it is important because both through this physical and mental detachment, one can find more time and put more energy in the spiritual practice, get away or shed the unnecessary distraction, and put a deeper connection with the divine. Right? The more we go away from that, it should not be that, okay, we go away, we stay separately, but then we continuously connected to Facebook, Instagram. So in this today's modern day, these are amazing distraction, very important weapons of Maya, and we are very much addicted. But we have to use spiritual intelligence and transform them into our asset, right? Bhakti asset. So, like we're doing now, how nicely Prabhuji is making the slides, and we giving opportunity all of us to read through and discuss about that. So we can use the same material resource for Maya and go down, or we can be Yukta Vairagya, and use it in the service of Lord. So that is detachment and simplicity. Our example over here, like supreme example, is like Sanatan Goswami, how simply he lived. And then he used to offer, I think it's Sanatan Goswami, right? He would offer a very simple, humble roti to the deities of the Lord. And then the Lord would say, oh, what is this? At least give me some salt. Then Sanatan Goswami will say, okay, today you are asking for salt, tomorrow you will say butter, day after tomorrow you will say this. So I am a very humble person, a simple beggar. Please, accept what I have to give you. So that is so wonderful conversation on TV, right? Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, in this chapter, in the Bhagavatam chapter, there's a verse that the Vanaprastha, he should live on root, fruit, and wear only simple garments. Now, it may not be easy for us, but as Radha Vinod Prabhu say, limit your, as the body transform, understand that, and limit your diet to that what the body can digest. And also, this is my brother-in-law used to say that when our teeth go away, today we put that artificial teeth, but we should not do that, because the teeth going away is a sign that our appetite for digestion is reducing. So we should gradually transform to the lower and minimal diet that is needed rather than plugging in the teeth to eat more and enjoy more, right? So that was his thought or realization. Wonderful. So again, one liner for this whole simplicity creates space for Krishna. So if you keep everything simple, you will find more space to practice your Krishna consciousness. The next theme, penance and austerity. We had an interesting discussion there. So I think I'll not spend too much time. But one thing I saw here in Prabhuji's PowerPoint, very important takeaway, conscious reduction of personal control. So we have to do that conscious reduction, find out where we are, what we are attached to, and do the conscious reduction. The other thing, probably we can discuss later also of the class, like penance and austerity. I think you raise a very, very important question. What is the difference? Samta Mataji also gave a good hint, and I was uh, trying to do a Google read and a Chat GPT read this morning. What is the difference? So there were also interesting point that came that austerity is a daily discipline, like what we follow the four, like wake up early morning, attend Mangal Aarti, eat only prasadam, and maybe like in your case, you have picked up eating only one time. That is austerity. So that is continuous daily. It is sort of a discipline. Penance is a one time, very, very focused sort of this thing, austerity or this pains, something endurance one may go through for a specific goal. Like I am following this, like Hiranyakashipu also did penance, right? Or even we can say Arjuna also did some penance to please like some demigods. But that was under guidance of the Lord. So that is penance. Austerity is a daily discipline. In ISKCON, as under guidance of Srila Prabhupada, the austerity given by him is highly recommended, and penance he does not, because uh, that is not right for this age. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur also say that even in this chapter, Lord Krishna says that if we doing something that disturbs our health, then we should not do. So health is of importance, which does not mean we do over endurance as well, but do the minimum that is needed to keep body, mind together so that we can fully focus on the spiritual. So this again is a transformative method to purify the mind and body so that we allow to cultivate the discipline that is focused on spiritual. So key point here is spiritual aspiration. And by that hardship, austerity and all that hardship, we transcend the limitation of physical form. So that is so interesting, right? With that, we can then go beyond the limitation of our physical form and align more closely. So going beyond the limitation of physical form here is not to get some siddhis or something. That is not the intent. No, it is to align more closely with the spiritual. Then next, we also discuss. Oh, sorry, for this one, then I think one liner here is these tapasya or austerity, they purify us only if Krishna is the center, right? Only if the goal is spiritual bhakti, then they purify us. Otherwise, they may not purify to that action. There will be some reward, but may not be. It will take long time to go back. Maybe like the demons, they do tapasya to get some boon. So they get that, but then we see the results, right? So the devotees, when do they do this austerity under the guidance, they purify. So tapasya purifies us only if the center is goal is Krishna. So the next is self-sufficiency and responsibility. So as it is mentioned here that every individual, they are responsible for their own growth. They have to be self-sufficient. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the purport, he says one line that one should not depend on others, otherwise that create a karma. Only way, as I said yesterday, Srila Prabhupada says that only reason it can be dependent or engaging other is only when the service of the Lord. So that means don't hold unnecessary, whatever is needed, so that we can plan a better life, so that with the spiritual focus, that is okay, but don't overdo, right? Like our consciousness should be more and more gradually going into service of the Lord and not enduring for accumulate of opulence and all. So that's not good. So we should develop that deep reverence for the natural order, like whatever comes naturally, and the commitment to harmonious living. Again, it is always said that whatever is written in our destiny, we'll get that only. We'll not get more or less. Nothing will be taken away. Nothing will be added. So we'll get what we are deserved, and destiny is there. So why then, over engineering? So do what is needed for self-sufficient. Don't rely on some other external other than Lord Krishna, and be responsible for your own growth. So here, like the example given is like Sudama Brahman, right? He was such a, of course, these are very, very exalted personality, but they set an example for us that they went through so much hardship, so much poverty, live, but complete dependence on the Lord, right? The Lord also says in this chapter that how the Vanaprasthi must collect his own required thing for his own, clean it and eat it. That's all. Don't depend on anyone else. So through that, uh, while doing all that, one should be respectful, and we should recognize that interconnectedness, that the divine presence is in everything. Again, the point comes here, penance and austerity. I believe that is a repetition through this, through the by this chat GPT. But again, there is a different point here. The vantage point here is that one must do this penance so he can continue the spiritual practice, which like he must do all the rituals and sacrifice like the Agnihotra and all. So as per the Vedic culture, as a Grihastha also there is some sacrifice they should do like Agnihotra and others. When one goes to the Vanaprastha ashram, he must continue doing that. The senior order. He should not stop that. Why? Because that will strengthen the connection with divine. Even Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right, that you must continue doing, even if you're elevated, then you do that so that you set an example for others. So that is the key point here. Again, tolerance and these practices are important for purity. Then point number 5 here is perception of reality. Okay, so here the perception of reality means here one has to read through the shastra. I think the technical term is shastra chakshu. Like through the eyes of shastra, one must make that endeavor to differentiate between what is material and what is spiritual. And one must thoroughly remind himself or herself that this world is dukkhalam ashasvatam. There is no happiness ultimately we'll get from this material world. One should realize, internalize this fleeting nature of material existence. So why so? Because that will then encourage detachment from all the worldly desire. It will illuminate that this is material, this is illusory versus this is permanent. What is temporary, what is permanent. And this is so the philosophy behind that because it aligns with our core Vedic teaching. And that is very important to make that discern or differentiation between the spiritual and material. So one must totally understand that world is temporary, illusory in the sense it is there, but it is temporary. Dukkhalem ashansvata. And our real identity is our Atma that we are. So we are a spirit soul having this material body. So through our viveka or discrimination, through our intelligence, this kind of discrimination or vivek is very, very essential. Example given here is Jad Bharat, how he was able to do that discrimination through his that. He guided King Ravana. And also in this chapter, Krishna stresses again and again to Uddhava that one should not see the material thing as the ultimate reality. And Mataji also pointed to that we must be not seeing this material gain as the eternal. So what will happen through that is when we become attached to something like, oh, I might be attached to promotion, I might be attached to this excellence, that, or this much bank balance. If we keep reminding, then our attachment to that will come down. We might try for that, but if that does not happen, we might not feel that bad, right? So gradually that detachment. So one liner from this is correct vision will lead to detachment. So we must read the Shastra, hear the lectures, get the correct understanding, have the correct vision. If we have the correct vision, then we'll be able to detach gradually. Right? So that is the point. Then the next point is spiritual community interaction. Right? Again, we say ABC: association, book reading, Bhagavatam, Bhakti, like Bhagavad Gita, and chanting, association with the right-minded people. So the Vanaprastha must seek sustenance solely from pure and righteous individual. That is having association with like-minded soul in today's day. That's what we say. That is important so we can preserve our purity in ourselves and in our relationships. What is the philosophical significance here? The spiritual growth flourishes through company one keeps. As we always say and hear, a person is known by the company he keeps. So we must have the right association and we must also safeguard ourselves against the hindrance of impure association. So impurity will creep in through different ways and form. We must be very, very strong, sturdy to weed that out and keep a very, very pure association. Example here is Narad Muni, right? When he was a child, it was given that he was not interested in playing games or anything that was material. He fully interested only in devotion, serving the Lord. Then he got the mercy of Bhakti Vedanta, the prasadam he got, and through that, then he developed that, and how we saw his growth, right? So in the association of devotee, then one automatically develop that taste of serving and chanting, right? So one liner of this, the whole essence of this topic, you become what you associate with. So be very, very careful of what you associate. Okay. So in previous we saw right vision will give detachment. Correct association is what you will become, right? So be very careful of that. So let's take a 1 minute break and touch point. Uh, is everyone still here? Am I audible? Is it making all sense? Right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Anything to share or comment?
Yeah,
Yes,
Prabhuji, yeah. Somebody wants to go, please go ahead.
Yes.
no problem.
Okay. So yeah, so Prabhuji, this is again begging, for Vanaprastha ashram. So multiple things are given. One is how your ego is also crushed, because when you go to some place, if you go few houses, if you don't get, then
Yeah.
that day is done for that. Also, it says that where to beg, whom to beg, because the it's a prasadam given to you. Again, that consciousness of the person, right? It impacts, and you put it very nicely. Look, having a perspective and associate to whom you do that, and kind of food you, because this is the prasadam you are eating. What kind of the kind of food you consume, that your consciousness impacts that directly. So very nice thing is that where to beg, it's also
Yeah, yeah.
selected,
It's
right?
mentioned.
Everything has to be use your intelligence and see all those various components. Are they helping you towards that? If it's not helping, use your discretion, and that is what I could say. Very nice. Thank you,
Correct.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes. As you mentioned that, one more thing strike me. Like in those days, it was go to 7, 8 houses to beg. But how Lord Nityanand Prabhu and our modern devotees, they have transformed for us. They go door to door book distribution. So go to 7 hours for book distribution. Then the way they will treat you, that will be test of your pride, ego, humility, right? Because when people don't behave, then your ego really comes out. You come face to face, and but then Krishna protects and guides moving. So
Yeah,
That
you
can
have
be
to
the
learn book distribution. Visheshika Prabhu, he is the number one.
yes,
He is the one you can see. He gives a lot of examples.
yes.
And he comes every year at least couple of times to Toronto. We have that.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay,
Prabhuji, I've
Prabhuji,
been
continue.
very fortunate. Every year the yatra I go to is organized by SBS Vaisheshika Prabhu. So
Okay.
part of that,
Hari-
even in Dhamma, his mood is so strong.
Yes.
Even in Dhamma, we all do book distribution.
Yes.
Very nice. So,
That is his mood. That is his mood. Anywhere you go, he is into that only.
so
Hari.
they are very wonderful example of this full varnashram,
Yeah.
like devotee varnashram.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hari.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice insight. Let's continue. So now continuing with this, the next theme here is ultimate liberation, right? So the key thing here is that the Vanaprastha and sannyasi, right? They have to follow this discipline, practice, unwavering devotion, detachment, right? Uh, but all of this is not like escaping from one material situation. The goal there has to be very clear. The goal is to please the Supreme and to have that state of eternal bliss and connection with the Supreme. So the ultimate aspiration here is to develop the loving service of the Lord. Right? There is no void or something there, but it is the relation of the Lord, relation with the Lord, which we have to reestablish again. So bhakti is beyond that moksha, jnana. In fact, moksha, jnana, as we have discussed many times, is a package within the bhakti. You will automatically get that. Right? So one has to understand that the ultimate thing, the intent why we are doing that. So here in this chapter also, Lord Krishna says that he attains liberation and reaches me. The one who follow this, they attain liberation. Liberation means from this material thought process, material goal, liberation from that, and fully aligned with my goal, serving me and achieves me. So in the example in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can think of like Shukdev Goswami, right? He is a very, very Atmaram, highly devoted, already, so he's the whole outcome here, he rejects all that, everything, but he is very willing to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam because that is glorifying the Lord, a wonderful opportunity. And then, he gives us this very great Srimad Bhagavatam through which we can connect with the Lord. Then the next theme there is overcoming all the obstacles. As Mataji, Nityasakti Mataji mentioned in their rehash also, when one becomes sannyasi, then there are many, many challenges. Not just sannyasi, but Srila Prabhupada said, the moment we say that we want to become devotee, we are actually waging a war against our material conception, against Maya. So there will be a lot of challenges. There will be a lot of temptations given by mind, given by demigods. In this chapter, it is said that one who becomes sannyasi, then the demigod become little bit concerned, and they say, okay, let us try to bhanga this devotion. Like there was this case for um, Vishwamitra also, right? But that was a different thing. He was not doing sannyas for that was a case of like very material gain. But then they become so they try to test. However, the Lord protect us. If we are honest, then Lord gives us the required inner strength. He helps us with the unwavering focus. But we have to also be vigilant and we have to have our own commitment despite all this adversity. Then, by the Lord's grace, by the devotee grace, then we will be able to overcome the obstacle. Also, these obstacles, they are opportunity, they test us, right? So, when we do the study, then we have to give the exam. And that exam is a reflection of where we are strong and where we are weak. These days, it has just become okay, you got 60 out of 100, 50 out of 100, but that's not the actual point. The actual point of giving an exam is you're trying to understand a particular topic, a theme, and then you're summarizing and responding to that. So through that, you understand, okay, you may be weaker at this topic, or this is your strength point. This is where you should go. This is where you should focus on. So these tests, they they actually strengthen us when we are able to face them. It will strengthen us, and they give us a viewpoint of where we are weak at. That is also important. So key person from our Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is like Haridas Thakur. How he could withstand against Maya. So many times Maya attacked. So many difficulty came. He was beaten in his 24 marketplace. But steadfastness, he continued to chant. And also compassion. The people who beating him, he is having compassion against that. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, you are being beaten. I was coming with Sudarshan Chakra to kill all them. But when I came there, you're saying, oh Lord, please bless them. They don't know what they're doing. Right? So then I had to be merciful. So I had to go away. So the summary one-liner, I think from here is the tests that happen, they confirm, validate our spiritual strength. Means some temptation come to us, like today, Ekadashi, I actually decide in the morning, today I will do full fast, ekdam nirjal. But then after a few hours, weakness comes and all, then I might decide, okay, let me just have, fruit prasadam. So that means my spiritual strength is not strong, right? I am not sick and all. Okay, if one is sick and all, should not try. I am fully there, but because the spiritual strength is weak, then you know where you stand, right? Okay, so that is the point here. So conclusion here from these 8 themes given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on Vanaprasth for these verses 1 to 28 is that the teachings on Vanaprasth and Sannyas, they give a compelling roadmap for spiritual development. They emphasize heavily on discipline, detachment, communal effort, and they give us a roadmap or transformative path which is designed to guide in our journey to the spiritual fulfillment. Okay, so now we go to the next section. These are verses 29 to 48. They give us a behavior of this Paramahansa devotees. So Mataji also explained what is a Paramahansa. We also covered that earlier. And their critical role of the prescribed duties. So again, the section is like this. There is the description of the theme A and then the philosophical implication. So what are the traits of Paramahansa? They have childhood-like innocence and humility. Childlike innocence means how a child is, he doesn't do, the child, he or she doesn't have deceptive mentality, at least until early ages, right? Kali Yuga child, I don't know, but at least the child, children I observe even these days, in small, I think at least up to 9, 11 months, they don't have deceptive mentality. So Paramahansa also, they don't want to deceive or cheat anyone. They are untouched by the notion of honor or dishonor. Right? So that is their trait. That is their this thing, characteristic. Right? So this all they demonstrate the authentic wisdom. How they get that? They don't get that because so they get that because of the purity, and practice. So if someone follows the authentic wisdom and he tries not to be arrogant because of the pride and all, and then he can develop gradually these traits. And then the important word here I like here is joyful detachment. Means we detach with these things, but we try to do that joyfully. If we detach, but then we go and tell to 20 people, oh, I have given up this, I have given up this, or we thinking continuously, then that's not a joyful detachment. Right? So we have to beg to Krishna and the devotees to get that sort of level. So that will elevate us. So such spiritual realization is beyond the mere intellectual achievement, right? So these saints, they appear very simple. They are free from ego and recognition, and they live beyond the social duties, from the social dualities, like whether honor, dishonor, people come, don't come. And we can see that in example of Srila Prabhupada, right? If we go where there is like thousand of people, he's happy. I think there are many instances where they book a whole stadium, but only 5, 10 people came, or maybe one person come. But Srila Prabhupada very happy. He also preached them. He went to that big company in Japan, Nippon, right? So he wanted to preach to the senior executive and all. There was a board meeting, but no one willing to hear. But in the end, he found one of the, like, simple this thing, uh, the lower person, like a clerk or something. He was willing to, ask question. He was interested. Then Srila Prabhupada gave mercy to him. He sat down, he explained him, and he preached him. In Russia, we see Srila Prabhupada had only one disciple initially, right? But that disciple was so much blessed. Then today we have a very, very strong congregation in Russia. So this is the power of a Paramahansa, right? So one liner here is spiritual maturity will give us humility. Right? So as we become mature, automatically the humbleness, the innocence, the lack of deceptiveness will come. But we have to do our conscious endeavor as well. Right? Also, that reminds me, in Bhagavatam, there is this chapter of this Avdut Brahman, right? That we will come, I think, but that's done, I don't remember. But how he endures all the different, problematic situation and he deals with that. Then rejection of fruitive rituals, like rejecting the karma kanda thing. So devotees are strongly cautioned against engaging in karma kanda ritual. Like we should not do this. In here, it is mentioned about like Chaturmasya also, but that is like Chaturmasya for some fruitive result. We devotees try to follow Chaturmasya for pleasure of the Lord. Right? So anything that you do for the material outcome, then it is good in one way that you are approaching the Lord, but herein it is said that if you do all this endeavor and you do it for material gain, then Krishna says that is very foolish. So ask for the right thing. So that is not a correct way. Also, one must, avoid, this is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that avoid unnecessary debates, avoid, unnecessary logic. Do not hear to any of atheistic philosophies because that can cause doubt, and doubt is a big demon. So that we should avoid. So what is the philosophical significance here? Genuine devotion we have to focus on rather than being stuck into the ritualistic practices. Right? So when I has to move away from that mindset, that I will do that transactional mindset, that I will do this to gain this. That is what Prahlad Maharaj says to Narsimha Dev Ji, right? When he asked him for a boon, he says, Lord, I am not here to take any businessman to do any material transaction. Rather, I am doing it purely out of love. So our goal should be true spiritual connection. So here, I think our example here, rejection of fruitive ritual, as I said yesterday also, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Da, Bhatta Goswami, they gave away everything. They were so rich, Sanatan Goswami, but they gave out just to be able to serve the Lord. Then again comes tolerance and non-violence, right? So tolerance is, here it is mentioned, the verse says that one must not disturb others, one must not be disturbed by others, right? That is the situation. So one must remain undisturbed, refrain from disturbing others, and if one is insulted, one must tolerate that, all those situation. Why so? That is so that one can maintain the purity and the focus. So that will help us. There should be no enmity based on caste, creed, all that. One must think everybody is the Lord reside in everyone's heart and freedom. So through that, as mentioned again and again, we can feel the divine presence in them, and that will give us inner peace and reassure that we can live in hope. So again, example that come to my mind is Haridas Thakur, right? He was tolerating so much insult, and then he still prayed for them. So all these tolerance, non-violence, it will, one liner here, that will help us advance in the bhakti. So tolerance and non-violence help you advance in the bhakti. That should be the goal. Then equanimity in material circumstance. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Samadukeshu Sama Dukha Sukha. And then that is the stage of Brahma Bhuta Prasnatma. So one must accept gain or loss as whatever is given to me. Like even if problem comes, then one will say, okay, actually lot more was supposed to come, but the Lord is very merciful. I got very little, right? Then one must be balanced disposition to low fluctuation and should avoid excessive being happiness or excessive being sad, because then that will lead to depression. So one must not be despondent by adversity, and he must think of it as everything is Lord Krishna's plan. So wonderful lecture, Prabhu. He explains by his example, going through so much pain, but he is fully focused on the plan of the Lord and doing his best to teach us now Govinda Bhasya also. So one must understand that all these experiences are transient, temporary. They are because of karma, but the Lord is very, very merciful. Right? So in Bhagavad Gita or in this chapter also, Krishna says one must not rejoice or lament in both the scenarios, and that is the plan of the destiny is what one must. So one must stay equipoised, avoid emotional extremes. And one example come to my mind, it is said as King Janak, right? He was very, very balanced in all the situation, right? So he was very much a devoted person. That's why, of course, Mother Sita was given as a daughter to him. But he was balanced in all the situations. Even Lord Ramchandra, right? We see when he is given this exile for 14 years, immediately he go. No complaint. Immediately he go. When he's um, like like so many different situations, he is so merciful, right? That's when Krishna is cursed by Gandhari, he takes that, right? So that the Lord himself, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, we see he's cursed by a devotee, like by a Brahman, that okay, you will never be. I think he's cursed that you will never be opulent, right? You will lose all that. So he's immediately happy, right? Says, okay, through that I will get association with the Lord, I will stay as a sannyasi. So the Lord himself and this devotee, they teach us that we must detach, we must try our best to stay equal in all the circumstances. Why so? So that we focus ourselves on the spiritual progress, self-sufficiency and health maintenance, right? So here also, the Srila Prabhupada also says that one should take good care of himself. Just one. So one must do the practice so that he is self-sufficient, like stay minimal, prioritize the health so that one can serve the Lord. And one must use, this was a wonderful statement I found, use body as a separate vehicle for spiritual growth, right? So physical well-being is highly stressed here, but more so that we can use all that for the service of the Lord. So example here is Arjun, right? How he use all his skills, effort, body to serve the Krishna and his purpose, right? So one must serve the Guru and be faithful so that one can get the right realization. So here it is very important. One essence point over here is Guru Seva is not optional. So whatever Guru instruction given, then we have to follow that. That is not optional. And then next here is voluntary practice of all the duties. So as we discussed about tapasya and penance, right? So there are these voluntary regulatory duties. We have gone through that all. So we saw that. But herein I found one statement very nice: the importance of free will in spiritual practice. So here it is said, Prabhuji says, free will signifies the conscious decision to engage in spiritual duties and practice. So I always used to think more what this free will is, right? And Lord has given us, but yeah, what does that mean? So here Prabhuji gives that, it answers my question. It is a conscious decision to engage in the spiritual duty and practice, right? Because then that Krishna become more happy. Like, isn't it possible for Krishna to make me a devotee immediately, right? To take away all that. But then that is not my will, no? Then it is dictatorship. Lord wants us all to surrender by all our free will, and that will come by practice. It will come gradually by practice. So that free will is important. The takeaway point is true devotion is born from such a conscious choice. Right? So if we consciously every time choose Krishna over other, then like eventually we will reach that level. So, role of a guru, I think I touched that. The Guru Maharaj, serving the Guru Maharaj. Here it is mentioned, one point I liked it is, it is not just made as a ritual, but it is celebrated. Yeah, the role of Guru, the relation with the Guru, and that's why we see that whole Diksha ceremony. Like it's a very nice, done very nicely. Like, there is a great pompous ceremony. Everybody chants mantras, there is good prasadam, it's a feast, and then everybody praises that. So the relationship with the guru must be celebrated. We must feel very, very encouraged. We must feel very, very positive and blessed for that. Right. So this stress the indispensable role of guru disciple and dynamic experience. So it will be conveyed through personal, and this will help us develop the personal connection with the Lord. Then the next thing, critical. So here, as I said, the service to Guru is non-negotiable. It is not optional. Then the next thing is critique of misconduct in spiritual life. That is being ethical in what we do. So sannyas lifestyle without genuine mastery over the senses or reverence is not good. One must be in the right phase of life to take that, as we saw also, like it is based on time, place, circumstance, right? So don't do anything for uh, for getting a cheap praise or false, doing something false to get a praise, putting an outward appearance of spirituality to mask the lack of spiritual progress. So that is not correct. One must do it sincerely, right? So sense control is essential. All sannyas will lead to a downfall. So example we see from Chetan Charitamrita, although these are very exalted person, but one example we see is that Chota Haridas, right? So little bit of deviance, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him. Although like the Vaishnavas offer that it was not to that level as compared to what we do today or see, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict there. So we should not be a pseudo or false sannyasa. We must do it only when the Guru Maharaj ordered us, and we are finding it correct for our situation and realization. Then theme 9, duties at the different stage in all the ashram. So one thing we studied very clearly, like what is the role of brahmachari and role of Vanaprastha. So there are specific duties that depends on different stages and contexts in the context of spiritual practice. But one most important thing is for all of them, worship of the Lord is mandatory. In different way, different form, different intensity, but worship of the Lord is mandatory. And all this spiritual practice must be tailored to one social role duty. So as Prabhuji said nicely, it is transitioning from one stage to others so that we go deeper and deeper in our spiritual practice. So that was covered, right? So one example devotee we have, again, we read is Ambrish Maharaj, how he utilized everything he had in the service of the Lord. So that is the correct usage of the body and the senses and the sense organ. Then we come to the final theme here, ultimate unity and devotion. So again, this is stressed again and again that there is Lord is in everyone's heart. The bhakti here it leads to realization. It must lead to the realization that Lord is in everyone's heart and everywhere. There is no place that can happen or existence without Lord. So bhakti is a means to transcend this duality and attain that stage or oneness with divine. Right? Krishna must be the ultimate goal, and this devotional service that purifies our existence. Right? So our example over here, ultimate example is gopis of Vrindavan, right? Need not say all of your exalted devotees how gopis time and again, to the extent that Lord Krishna tells them that, like, I am not able to repay your debt. Let your let your sadachar, or let your qualities and your glory be your ever. Right? So Krishna finally says that one who worships with me with bhakti attains me. So the final conclusion here is bhakti, or one-liner, bhakti is the ultimate perfection. So what we have received here is like priceless, rare opportunity. So we must do our best to continue and grow that bhakti lata bridge. So in conclusion here, what we see that one important thing, this whole varnashram system is a structure to enhance bhakti. It is not the goal. It is not the goal to be a best brahmachari, the best. The goal here is to be Krishna conscious. Krishna bhakti is the ultimate goal. Right? The renunciation should not be only external. External is good, but main thing is internal absorption of Krishna in all stages. And finally, the highest stage is the loving service. Right? So for us, I think the final stage for this life, I feel among the different stages is like if I reach the stage of Nishtha, amazing, right? So that's the so with that, I end today's class. I think this is the last slide. Yes. And then seek forgiveness for the mistake or ambiguity. And I'm so, so grateful to all of you for being with me, hearing me. And I'm so grateful to Charu Prabhu for these wonderful slides, and Sir Prabhu and all of you for hearing me. So let me stop here. Hare Krishna. So now we open up for discussion.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. So wonderful class and so many good lessons which we have to take away and we have to apply in our life. Prabhuji, I have 2 points to say that
Yes,
टॉलरेंस एंड नॉन वायलेंस में मुझे भी एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल याद आया
yes,
रामानुजाचार्य का।
yes.
रामानुजाचार्य जो थे उनके साथ उनके जो पूरा जो एसोसिएशन था उसमें एक ऐसा व्यक्ति था जो हर वक्त रामानुजाचार्य का क्रिटिसाइज करते थे। तो सब लोग बोलते थे उनको कि भाई आप उसको हटा दीजिए, आप उनको साथ में क्यों रखते हो? तो बोलते नहीं नहीं बहुत अच्छी बात है क्योंकि मुझे मेरी गलतियां मालूम नहीं पड़ती है, वो मेरे साथ रहेगा तो अच्छा रहेगा कि तुम्हें सुधार पाऊंगा अपने आप को। ऐसा कह के वो हमेशा उनको साथ रखते थे क्योंकि वो इतनी निंदा करता था रामानुजाचार्य की। तो ये एक पॉइंट मुझे याद आया। और दूसरा एक चातुर्मास के बारे में जो बताया है कि डिवोटियों की जरूरत नहीं है, मगर जो पूरे साल कुछ भी नहीं करते वो जनरल पब्लिक के लिए है। जो पूरे साल कुछ भी करते नहीं, कोई भी एकादशी को फॉलो नहीं करते, कुछ भी नहीं करते, मगर उनके लिए जो ये ऐसे कहते हैं कि चातुर्मास अगर करेंगे तो ये होगा आपको ये सारी डिजायर पूरी हो जाएगी। तो वो हिसाब से जो जनरल पब्लिक जो पूरे साल कुछ नहीं करती पूरी एकादशी, तो वो फॉलो करते हैं और वो फॉर मटेरियल गेन के लिए ही ज्यादा से ज्यादा करते हैं। और डिवोटी जो होते हैं वो तो पूरे साल की एकादशी करते हैं।
Chetan Charitamrita also there is one example, right? Oh, Jayanand, no, sorry, who was that? There was one
पुंडरिक
sannyasi.
विद्यानदी, पुंडरिक
No,
विद्यानदी।
no. Vidyanati, कोई और sannyasi है, he will always criticize everyone and then he will call everyone home. He will feed them nice prasadam, then he will criticize them. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he will criticize, he eats so much food. I don't remember the name. So these are there. Ramachandra. So then these are there, but again they are all pastime, the Leela. Yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Session.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Dandavat Pranam. So you very rightly pointed out how the false ego or the ahankar comes out when you go for book distribution and when you get engaged in these kind of activities. Yes, it definitely comes out. So we should do more and more of book distribution. And hats off to you and Prasad Prabhu, how you kind of manage a very hectic IT job and still you deliver such nice presentations. Thank you, Prabhu. Dhanwad.
Yes.
That is a mercy, Mataji.
One point regarding this Chaturmasya. If you remember in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went to South India, he stayed in the house of whom? Venkat Bhatt,
Yes, Prabhuji, Venkat Bhatt.
father of
Gopal Bhatt Goswami.
Gopal Bhatt
Gopal
Goswami.
Bhatt Goswami.
He stayed there for 4 months because it was Chaturmasya. Why he did not like to move during Chaturmasya? As you know, in those times there were no bridges around. You cannot move freely because there will be water. The rivers will be filled with water like this. That is one point. But what does the devotee, a Vaishnava devotee, do in Chaturmasya? Basically, he does more and more chanting and devotional service. That is all. But what was being talked, if somebody does that for material gains, those gains are temporary. They'll finish, the results will finish in no time. In that way, it is not applicable to the Vaishnavas. But the Vaishnavas, they are supposed to do all these things in the Chaturmasya period, that is 4 months. Then another very interesting thing, there is a lot of time today regarding equanimity. What does actually equanimity means? Equanimity, some person has got that quality of equanimity. That means he is very calm. He has got a very calm state of mind. He does not become angry or upset, especially in difficult situations. Now, I'll tell you a story about King Janaka. When King Janaka was king of Mithila, now please remember that all the kings of Mithila, they were known as Janaka. And one of the Janakas, he was the father of Mother Sita. Okay, now what happened? He was in a deep philosophical discussion in the assembly where Astabakra Muni was there. Now then one messenger comes and tells him that the everything in Mithila is were in fire, including his palace. Now, while all others were present, including the other sages or attendants, everybody panicked and ran to save their meager possessions. But Janaka Maharaj, he remained perfectly calm, sitting still and continuing in discussion. And he said, let Mithila burn. Now, why this proclamation? When questioned about the lack of concern for his immense wealth and palace, Janaka said that even if Mithila is consumed by fire, nothing of mine is lost. I lose nothing because everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. And as you know, Janaka was called Videha, meaning without body, because he was fully established in Brahmajnana and he did not identify with his body, possessions, or even his role as a king. And he realized that the soul is totally indestructible, cannot be destroyed, cannot be harmed, but material possessions are temporary. Then another example I'll give about equanimity. You have heard Gita Press, Bhaiji. Once, one day what happened in his place, that is in Gorakhpur, the complete area was in fire. Now when YG was told that everything is under fire, that so and so building, so and so area, he came, he was very, very happy. He came and started pouring ghee on that, because he said, at least the Lord has come in the form of fire to show himself to me. And he was very, very happy. These are some of the examples of great people who possess the quality of equanimity.
Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So as you are putting equanimity, I just hearing one sentence was there. The experiences are transient and sharp, are shaped by karma. If you are the same thing again, equanimity, right? So the person sees that, always we talk about whatever is unfavorable happening to me. Favorable, nobody bothers, right? Unfavorable,
Yes.
then only you get a disturb. So unfavorably happening, it's because of my past karma, right? And he is coming into that. That is one. Another part also is a very good subject. It's to ponder about how equality comes. Also, he sees that Paramatma sitting in everybody's heart. So how you see that also. But one thing is that Lord is there, is in me, He's also in me, is the other person. So again, all that is happening is coming from the Lord. He is in control. He knows everything. So that also one concept is there. Another concept, you see that Lord's presence. He knows what is happening, to me. And also the third one can have is that how can we, Lord will get angry, so depending on the mood, how you look at it, the Lord sitting in is somebody can say, how can I go and do that? In Maharashtra, typically, I'll tell you, people spit, like eat and pan, and they spit. So in most of the government building, they used to put a picture of the maybe some god they were pitting. So it's a force to remain. So again, when you see the Paramatma in everybody, somebody will be abstain because Lord will get angry. There are so many things, but it's a very nice how to become equanimity. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have anything. He treats very nicely. He understands why it is happening, right? That's what you look at the equanimity, and that's how he doesn't get disturbed.
Yes. Okay, then I've got one question. Out of the 12 Mahajanas, King Janaka is also there.
Yes, yes,
Okay, and I said all the kings of Videha, that is Mithila, they were Janakas. That means all the kings, they were in that category, or only the father of Mother Sita is a Mahajana, or all the kings, Janakas, they are Mahajana. Let us see what answer.
I don't know. Answer is I don't know, because it cannot be generalized, because in a family where Krishna appeared, you go previous, what kind of kings were there? All some were very nasty also, right? So it is not everything was good.
But I am talking of the Janakas.
Janaka.
Prabhuji, only Mother Sita's father was Janaka. I don't know the reason why, but all cannot be Janakas. They might be called Janakas because they were fallen.
They were Janakas. That is a correct statement.
Okay, so it can happen. I can just speculate here, Prabhuji. Maybe the kingdom has a influence. Some places are so influential. It doesn't make difference who comes. So in that dynasty, whoever has come, were of that influence, or they had a benediction from somewhere. Possible. I don't know. I don't know, but speculating.
Yes, you are on the right lines. In this category, all Janakas they are included.
Mm.
You see, that is a dynasty where the Supreme Lord himself took birth. And you go the preceding the rulers all of them. So that is where it comes.
So, Prabhuji, how we had in that lesson that in Satya Yuga all were Hamsas. In Satya Yuga all were Hamsas.
Yes.
So, are you saying that was this the reason that in that particular dynasty all were Janakas?
Then I am not saying this. This is not my opinion. This is the interpretation.
No, no.
Uh-huh.
It
But
cannot be
Prabhuji,
general. It cannot be generalized because there was some blessing in specific, right? In then if you talk, if all were Hamsa, then how come Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha were there, right? So there were also people like that.
No, that is a generalized statement. All were Hamsas, but as
So,
the
Prabhuji, what is the answer? Like, who is the Mahajana? All Janak or only the mother of
all
father of son?
all the Janakas.
All Janak are
oh,
considered Mahajan.
Yes, they are Mahajans.
oh,
So even today, is there Janak in Mithila?
No, now there is no Janaka now. Though that in dynasties, actually what happened when Lord Rama went away, went to the spiritual world, he entrusted the kingdom to whom, you know?
Hmm.
Not to
Because
Lama.
other Bharat and all they refused, right?
Bharat
So
Maharaj.
Bharat,
No, he entrusted the kingship to Hanuman.
okay.
Therefore, in Ayodhya, Hanuman Gadi, you'll find Hanuman is there, and behind Hanuman, standing Ram, Lakshman, Sita, all the brothers they are standing.
Hmm.
He is the king. But
yeah.
that is Hanuman is the king of
Ayodhya.
Ayodhya even today. He protects Ayodhya.
Hmm.
And you may not be able to see them because so much of smoke is generated from the arti that they become totally black, and it is very difficult to see them standing behind. But that is there.
Yeah, it's just backside, and you have to climb up, right? And one get so much of the crowded. You anyway get suffocated by the time you go up there. That Hanuman.
But shortcut is also there.
There's I didn't know that. Okay. So you have to visit more than once to find out shortcut. So
Is
Prabhuji,
this
just
in the main temple, Prabhu? The,
no outside, just behind that.
Yes, yes.
where is the new temple that, I mean, the Ram Janmabhoomi temple, that one, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And you know the bell of which the priest it is in the priest's left hand, and he keeps sounding that bell. What is the weight of that bell, you know? It is about 5 kgs,
Wow.
and he keeps on holding it for about half an hour or so.
So Prabhuji, somebody asked that Paramhamsa, in a Satyuga. Let's take little bit of some Paramhamsa is a stage, right, of the consciousness.
Yes,
It is
yes.
not a dependent. Here, the word where I'm going. So somewhere it says that Vanaprastha, then Sannyasi, and I think after that the Paramhamsa kind of that
May
is not
may
the
not be. May not be. This
may not be
Paramahansa,
that. Yeah.
one can become a Paramahansa even if one is the Grihastha also.
Sukadev Goswami, for example, he was 16 years, right? He is also Paramahansa, some places referred. So,
He is Paramahansa, but he was not in any order. He was neither a Grihastha nor a Vanaprastha nor
right,
nor a the Brahmachari. He was nothing. And
right,
no purification was done. He was not
correct,
wearing a sacred thread also. But he was he is a Paramahansa
right. So,
because of
Paramsa, it's a status, right? It's
yes,
not a
yes.
Thyroid care can after sannyasi, it can be in grasa, as you said. It can grasa can be also paramahamsa. It is a status of consciousness.
Yes, yes, yes. That is
प्रभु जी ऐसे कह सकते हैं शुद्ध सत्व, उनमें शुद्ध सत्व ज्यादा होगा, सतोगुण से ऊपर का जो है शुद्ध सत्व.
yes, yes.
वो
But
बोलता है
but
दोष.
do you think this? Suppose you have to run the material world. If the Lord, by His potency, He brings Suddha Sattva in everybody, then can this society run?
No, प्रभु जी.
It cannot, because the other things also are required. Like we spoke
Then
of,
it will be Golok.
we spoke of so many qualities like say tolerance.
Yeah.
Now, what happens? It does not mean you tolerate anything and everything. You tolerate nonsense also. Like, say, there is a road and somebody encroaches on that, and the others are finding problem, and you also you are also affected, but you also tolerate. That is not tolerance. A soldier is going for fighting. He says, no, no, I have to follow non-violence. I cannot kill the enemy. I cannot cause harm to him. That is not correct. You have to go by your duty also, wherever, in whichever place you are, in whichever stage you are, you should follow that. The dharma of a soldier and that of the sannyasi, they are different that way. So that has to be kept in mind. The things are actually very, very subtle, and very many people will interpret them either way, which is not very correct.
Yeah. So one more point, Prabhuji, it's a very nice on the Varnashrama. It's a very nicely mentioned. These are not a static. These are the basically what mentioned here. These are the Varna and Ashrama particularly, right? Varnas. So these are the structure created, but that is not the ultimate aim, right? So ultimate aim is
Yes.
use it and to go to the spiritual, right? So it is not this is not once come somebody born there, you get complacent and remain there, nothing will happen, right? One has to move forward.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
you're very right. Like, why
Yeah.
all these things are there? Like, brahmachari. Brahmachari is basically what? He is a student. He learns, go to the Gurukula, go to the school, college like this in nowadays, and he becomes educated so that he
Yeah.
knows everything. Then Grihastha, then Vanaprastha, then Sannyasa. One can become directly a sannyasi also.
Yeah.
Like this, and the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, they are given so that the society runs. Without them, like without the Sudras, the society just cannot progress, cannot run only. They are as important. The Vaishyas, they are very important. Kshatriyas, they are important. Brahmanas, they are important. All are important. But what is the ultimate aim, as Prabhuji said? It is to reach the Supreme Lord. One should know what is his duty, what is his ultimate aim in life. That is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. If one has learned that, then everything has been learned.
Haritoshanam, है ना? The Dharma is
So there,
Haritoshanam.
Haritosanam, if you are able to satisfy the Supreme Lord, if the Lord is satisfied with you, then everything is perfect. There is no defect. All defects are taken away by the Supreme Lord Himself. Any other question or comment?
Prabhuji, I have a question. थोड़ा out of this
Okay,
today's
okay.
मेरा actually क्या है जो हम बोलते हैं कि भाई गॉड ग्रेस से डिवोशन, आई थिंक गॉड ग्रेस से डिवोशन बढ़ता है। जब भगवान की कृपा होती है तभी भक्ति में हम अच्छे से पहुंच सकते हैं। इज इट ट्रू ना?
Yes, yes, that is very true. Because if we think I am improving, progressing because of my own efforts, that is not correct. If I say I am progressing because of my prarabdha, I had done some good work in my previous life, that is also not correct. It is only due to the Lord's mercy. That's all. And the mercy, it comes from through the sadhus to us,
यस,
not
माय
directly.
क्वेश्चन, हाँ प्रभु जी, माय क्वेश्चन वाज द सेम कि मर्सी कैसे ली जाए, कैसे इंटरेस्ट इसमें बढ़ाया जाए। जैसे हम चैंटिंग करते हैं तो हमें कुछ करते हैं राउंड तो हमें थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट आता है, अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन उसके बाद वो मैकेनिकल प्रोसेस हो जाता है। तो
Okay,
उस
let it whether you like it, not like it, whether you are testing the meaning, testing the name of the Lord or not. Let there be anything. If somebody is just chanting mechanically or anything, he or she will get benefited one day. There is no doubt, because the Lord will get pleased.
बट
He
मुझे इस हाउ मच टाइम इट विल टेक?
Time,
इट विल टेक।
actually we do not know the time frame, because we do not know what we have done in our previous lifetimes. How much time it will take to burn at least some of the sins we have committed in our millions and billions of lifetimes. The Lord only knows, and He has made a plan. We have to have faith on Him. And remember, if we earnestly work, then we can even go to the Lord's place, that is the Golak Dham, even in this life. But for that,
प्रभु जी, एक्चुअली माय क्वेश्चन इज कि इसको कैसे इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं? अगर जैसे कुछ लोग का थोड़ी सी उसमें भाव इतना ज्यादा होता है कि वो चांटिंग करते वक्त स्टार्ट टू क्राइंग, स्टार्ट, मतलब ऐसी सिचुएशन आती है। लेकिन ये जो भाव आता है, इमोशंस कैसे इंक्रीज हो सकते हैं? कैसे हम इस उसमें जा सकते हैं?
like we said, will come with the grace of the Lord. Then what we have to do? That's what is your question. You follow your spiritual master, whatever he is saying. Whatever, if the spiritual master tells you, you wash the utensils of the mandir, you do that, you will be you will get the ultimate result. There is not that if you are worshipping the deity in the altar, then only you will be blessed more. It is not the anything. You just follow your spiritual master's orders and the Vaishnava's orders, and the Lord is saying that He will give us at the appropriate time. There is no reason for disappointment from any side.
But suppose he says, go on chanting, go on chanting.
Yes,
Then वही प्रोसेस आता है कि chanting becomes mechanical and boring.
let it
So,
be, let it be mechanical, let it be boring, or still then you keep on chanting. That is the only answer.
okay,
There is just no other way.
okay,
प्रभु
प्रभु
जी,
जी.
यहाँ पे हम एक एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं, जिसको जॉन्डिस हुआ है और उसको शुगर कैंडी खा के देते हैं कि उसका मुंह बहुत कड़वा हो गया है, मगर
Yes.
जैसे उसको पसंद नहीं है, मगर वो करता जाएगा, जैसे जैसे वो शुगर कैन खाता जाएगा, अपना जॉन्डिस ठीक हो जाएगा, क्योंकि एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि उसको स्वीटनेस आ जाएगी।
Yes, exactly. That is very good example. That's why we should keep on chanting only, nothing more.
Okay, प्रभु
प्रभु जी,
जी.
दूसरा भी एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल ऐसा है कि जब छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, जब वो राइटिंग सीखते हैं, तो वो उसके हाथ में पेन देते हैं, वो गोल 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 घुमाता रहता है, मगर उसका मतलब वो नहीं है कि वो वेस्ट कर रहा है टाइम। वो एक दिन वो एक लिख लेगा क्योंकि वो प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है। तो माता जी ये हम प्रैक्टिस ही कर रहे हैं। अभी हम लोग सब गोल 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 घूमते रहते हैं, मगर एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि हम एक लिख पाएंगे।
Yes.
Okay, thank you. But
But
problem is there when it becomes boring. उसमें लगता है कि छोड़ो
no,
ये।
no, but you see the positive thing. The Lord has given us this forum, given us this opportunity to associate with others and progress. Take the name of the Lord, study Srimad Bhagavatam, study so many Shastras. That means we are progressing in the right way. Though it may seem boring under some standards, but it is not so. You keep on doing that, you will get total satisfaction at some point of time, and you'll reach your ultimate destination. Actually, we do not know after how many lives, but it is certain. It is 100% certain that all jivas will ultimately go to the Lord's kingdom.
ओके प्रभु जी। पर कई बार बढ़ने पे फिर एकदम डाउन आ जाता है। मतलब वो सिचुएशन जो बहुत 4 साल पहले थी वही सिचुएशन आ जाती है और तो इट मीन्स देयर इज नो गॉड ग्रेस।
नहीं
वी आर
नहीं
नहीं नहीं
not
माता जी, उसमें ऐसा है कि अगर प्लेन में जाते हैं तो एक सर्टेन पॉइंट पे आता है प्लेन, तो अब हमें लगता है कि प्लेन चल ही नहीं रहा है, मगर वो बहुत ही स्पीड में चल रहा है। तो हमें ऐसा नहीं सोचना है कि हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे, कुछ तो हो ही रहा है मगर हमें मालूम नहीं पड़ रहा है ना प्रभु जी? ऐसा सोच सकते।
yes.
सम मिस्टेक्स वी आर डूइंग आई थिंक सम
यस माता जी,
मिस्टेक।
हमारे अपराध होते होंगे अनर्थ अनर्थ, वी आर ऑन अनर्थ स्टेज, दैट्स व्हाई माता जी।
यस
unearth, then Vaishnava Aparadh, all these things, they are actually obstacles.
अब
We should
माइंड
not try to commit
सिचुएशन,
them.
माइंड सिचुएशन कैसी है उसका भी आई थिंक फर्क पड़ता है। अगर हम कोई हमारे साथ गलत कर रहा है उसके साथ हम उसके बावजूद भी अच्छा सोचते हैं, तो ये तो मैंने जज किया है कि वो जो है ये भक्ति भाव बढ़ता है, चैंटिंग बढ़ता है। लेकिन कभी भी कुछ अलग आ जाता है, कंट्रोल नहीं होता तो भाव एकदम खत्म हो जाता है।
We should not commit any aparadh, at least knowingly.
प्रभु जी हाँ, इस नोइंगली नहीं वैसे ये माइंड का जो ये है ना कंट्रोल, माइंड कंट्रोल जो होना बड़ा मुश्किल है। वो मुझे अर्जुन की बात याद आती है कि ये इसको हवा की तरह से है, इसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते। दैट इज़ अ
One can control even the air, wind, but not the mind. Mind is so powerful. But how it can be controlled? By detachment and by practice.
आई थिंक साधु संग इज़ मेन इम्पोर्टेंट।
Yes, like Sadhu Sang, we have read in so many chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadhu Sang is most important.
यस,
Like in our Navadha Bhakti, what is first? Shravanam Kirtan,
श्रवणम।
like this. But when
श्रवणम
in Valmiki Ramayana, or in Ramayana only, in Ramcharitmanas or Valmiki Ramayana, when Lord Rama instructed Navada Bhakti to Sabari, what was the first thing? First thing was Sadhu Sangha only. Sadhu
यस
Sangha is
प्रभु,
very important.
यस। थैंक यू प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच।
Any other question or comment?
Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhuji, for the wonderful session. Lots of takeaway home lessons.
So it seems there are no questions. Then tomorrow's class, instead of Charu Prabhuji, I'll be taking that. That is of Govinda Vasya. And then next,
प्रभु जी, व्हाट इज द लेटेस्ट अपडेट ऑफ चारू प्रभु जी हेल्थ?
if we get today, we'll inform. But he is in that state only, not much improvement. That's what.
At hospital, Prabhuji, or at home?
No, he's at home only.
Okay. Okay.
Then next weekend, Friday, Nityasakhi Mataji.
Tomorrow, who will give the session, Prabhu, then?
I'll.
You are giving. Okay.
Yes. Next coming weekend, that is next Friday. Next Friday's class is Nityasakhi Mataji, and recap is Radha Vinod Prabhuji. And on Saturday, Rajiv Prabhuji, he has not come today, I will contact him. And recap is Prasad Prabhuji, and Govinda Bhasya Samta Mataji. 117 to 11. I will be taking 6 to 10 tomorrow. And thereafter, next series of classes from 1st of May, almost all of them I will be taking. So if there are no comments or questions, we can conclude today's class with the Nrsinga prayers.
Prabhu, 1 second, Prabhu. He's
Yes.
feeling so dizzy, Prabhu. Dizziness. Is that the challenge?
Yes.
Okay. So, but like, I'm not sure, Prabhu, but admitting hospital is better. Okay.
Oh, he is in touch with the doctor.
Doctor, okay.
Doctor, actually that is a much advanced country than ours.
Okay.
They'll be doing the needful.
Okay.
But I think he had not been taking rest. Once he takes rest, the things should improve.
But now he is forcibly taking rest, right? No.
Now he has started taking rest.
Rest.
Okay, then we can conclude today's class with the Nrsinga prayers.
Okay, Prabhuji, I do.
Okay.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlad Laddaine, Prahlad Laddaine, Hiranyakashir Purvakshah, Shilatankal Nakhalaye, Shilatankal Nakhalaye, Itu सिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंहदेव 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 जय हो नरसिंहदेव प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय हो सभी संतों की जय हो भागवत की जय हो सभी संत जन डिवोटीज की हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू प्रभु जी थैंक यू माता जी
Thank you, Mata.